I was a little surprised
So
when
Mama
I got
keeps up
a
on
small little bundle like that. I thought they were gonna bring the little box.
That's okay.
Did we order in?
We need more, we need more.
Right.
Derek knows Derek, see, he got the drill.
Tell them about the black shirt. Black shirt. Were they wearing black?
I got a bunch of mine. I did, I changed it. I literally did. Nope, that's my last name.
Yep.
Thank you, sir. You know the drill, right?
Fine.
Guess who did I speak in the comments? I don't. Okay. I'd like to call the meeting to order today. If everyone will stand if you're able. And if you'll join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and after that we will have a prayer from Councilman Ulrich. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord in heaven, we come before you offering our thanks for bringing us together safely. Sometimes it's easy to forget that our own safe arrival and departure is a grace from you. As we prepare for this meeting, we ask that you be with us. May our thoughts be led by you, our conversations be inspired by you. Help us put our own agendas to the side and seek your will and outcome for this meeting. Please grant us wisdom in times of uncertainty and clarity in times of confusion. Lead us to solutions. Help us strengthen up us as a group. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. I agree. Get everything organized here.
I don't need these no more.
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome everyone to our annual or our monthly November 9th meeting. And I want to thank everyone that's in attendance, but also I want to recognize those that are joining us on live stream. I think we had 70-something people viewing last time, so at least we're trying to provide, if you can't be here, that you still have access to be involved in the meeting. Those folks that are just now coming in, if you're wanting to speak during public comments when we get down further into it, I'll let you sign up on here. If there's someone that wants to speak on an agenda item, again, I'll let you know when we get to that agenda item, and then we'll put your name on the list as well. So I just want to keep track of the folks that were here and that were speaking. We got a pretty big agenda here, so I'm going to jump into these right away. So we'll go through the introduction of new employees. Dolores or anybody else that's going to...
Jason is gonna do.
Jason's going to do first, okay?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. I'd like to introduce Mark Longino to the Public Works Department. Mark is the new water and wastewater supervisor for the city of Weimar. He has over 20 years' experience in plant operations. He's going to be assisting me with water quality issues and compliance issues with plants.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And that's it.
Okay,
Unless you wanted to introduce the chief, that would be the only other.
yes. You want to introduce you because you hired him?
Oh, wait, now,
Yes.
let me see.
He is standing outside or in the city? He's sitting back.
Mark, are you chief? We want to introduce, this is our new chief of police, Mark Jamison.
Hello, everybody.
Hopefully, that's the only time that you get to meet him. But he is actually a very social gentleman, so he will come up and shake your hand on the street, not necessarily to put handcuffs on you. So be nice to him and he'll be nice back. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 4, city manager's report.
Okay, we received an email this morning from Strand Associate that WC Construction will be in town starting construction on November 27th, the week after Thanksgiving. They're not sure if they'll be completed by the deadline of February 29th, but if not, we'll apply for an extension. And thanks for Bo's help on that. I think enforced them to get here earlier.
Yeah, no, I think moving them from starting in the end of February to a few weeks is good. And then, so we're gonna need to probably file an extension on the TDA grant, which the board said, and they've already said that shouldn't be a problem. And then, obviously, if the construction doesn't finish on time, we're entitled to a sort of the $500 day delay payment. So, hopefully they'll get
Thank you.
finished.
So last month, I reported that the utility bill for the medical center had not been paid. They did pay a portion on the bill this month, but we did go ahead and disconnect service to the hospital. There was a leak in a backflow device behind the hospital, using over 9,000 gallons of water a day. We contacted the owner. He did finally get somebody here to fix the leak. There's no more water wasted over there. There was a lot of water going through. Jason went through a few times, and he said it was the backflow device. So we finally got him to disconnect that. H&C started the street project. They tried to repair the 155, at least so it's smoother right now, but due to the rain, they didn't want to do any more right now. And also, last Friday, November the 3rd, the city received notification from TxDOT that the city was awarded the Transportation Alternatives Step Aside Program, that's Phase 2, for 155 north and south and to the parks. And the amount of $3,378,900.
You want to repeat that again?
$3,378,933.
Wow.
Nice job.
And the city is not going to have any responsibility on,
No
To
out-
make a
no
portion.
out of pocket or nothing.
no.
And
No
just
matter.
so everybody knows what that, it's a sidewalk going basically from I-10 all the way up to Highway 90, is that correct?
Yes.
Yep.
Any time frame on when they would start
Highway
that?
90,
Where's it go to?
it's going from Interstate
Yes,
all the way to town,
Yes.
then it's gonna go from Center Street all the way up
gotcha.
to the church, then sidewalks to
The
the boat.
entire project,
Yes.
yes.
To the Schaefer Field and to Vets part.
Yeah.
That's in addition to this other one that runs
Yes, sir.
east and west.
And they're starting
I don't
this
know the
one
time
next
frame.
year? This one is next year?
Yes.
Okay.
Jason's been working on it already in between his water issues, but, yes, locating our lines. But that's all I have,
Thank you.
I think.
Thank you.
So it's not public works.
Yes.
Jason?
Mayor, council, my report is included in the packet. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I would also like to include that there is a report from February of 2019 on where a well evaluation was done. So just want to make sure you guys get a chance to look at that.
Jason, there's folks in the audience that, if you can kind of give them an idea of what council's actually looking at, because they don't have a packet while they're actually looking, just so we're trying to educate people on what you guys are turning in.
Okay, so pretty much what I turn in is a report that pretty much everything that Public Works does for the month. This month was a little different because we've had some, we've had some water quality issues that I've been trying to figure out. I found a report that was done from Strand Engineering from February of 2019 that explains a lot of the reasons why the city of Weimar is having these issues with the water. So these issues have gone on for quite some time, from what I understand. I'm just trying to come up with a resolution for it.
I just wanted you to let them know while council was looking what they're actually looking at, and this is basically a report of every time somebody turns in a work order.
Yes.
Yep. And this is kind of what they're doing every day, every week of the month, kind of a report that they have to go off of. Council good? Okay, good, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well, good afternoon, Mayor, members of council. It's an honor to be here for you to give you a presentation. It's my understanding that you got my talking points. Is that true? I'll change the format in the future, so I'm not going to bore you with my words, how I would talk to you when I got up here. But as you can see, and I'll say it for the public's benefit, we had 122 calls for service this past month in October. Those calls for service range from anything from a funeral to a burglary alarm. Anytime an officer gets called out to do something, that would constitute a call for service. If you have self-initiated activity, that would also constitute a call for service. So we gave you a little bit of a breakdown as to what those were, and if there's any questions about them, we could get to that. I also wanted to highlight, during the month of October, you saw it in the paper, the 44 dogs that were rescued, right? And I just wanted to brag on the officers for their participation in that. Whether you know it or not, there was a fire in the adjacent property the day before that all took place, and the officer noticed all the dogs that were in there. So he took the initiative, right? And then they contacted SPCA out of Houston. They wrote up the search warrant and did all the things they did. And that was pretty remarkable to walk into that. And they handled all that pretty much by themselves. So I was excited to see that, and I wanted to make sure to highlight that with you all. 34 traffic stops were taken care of. I understand that that is a lower number than normal, and we're looking into what that is. Don't know what the cause of that is yet. Don't know if it's less officers on the street. Don't know if it's bad weather. Don't know if it's call volume or what it was. And then you can see that we had 9 arrests. And one of the other things going forward, kind of as a teaser, I'm not sure if you want it or not, but where I'm used to in Victoria, we would develop crime data. So each of you would know what crimes were occurring in your places opposed to your zones or districts. And that's something that I'll be more than happy to present in this type of format going forward.
Great.
And I am open for any questions that you might have.
Just glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here as well. Thank you for that. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. You have my report in your packet. You have any questions, concerns? Anything going?
Do you want to highlight anything? Again, I'm trying to get information out as much as possible to those folks that are coming here. They don't get a chance to see this.
Kind of what would you want me to hit on the most of?
Just get whatever you feel is important you want to take care of.
Currently, so we've got 3 house projects that just got completed. All inspections, final inspections were done, was it 2 weeks ago, Ms. Dolores? I think 2 weeks ago, keys were handed over to those families, so that's 3 more houses that have gone up. We have a new restaurant coming up. I know some of y'all have probably seen it behind the McDonald's there. We're in the middle of that, so we're looking about 5 weeks to be open on that. So we're doing some inspections and work there. Dog calls, they're coming in, so those are staying active. We have 2 projects coming up. One is for McCoy's, one is for UTEX. They're doing a whole new fire system for McCoy's, and so kind of look over their project plans. Once it's approved, they come through me, we go through permitting, and then carry on out. So we got a couple of those going. UTEX has a project that they're wanting to do to supply water to their facility in case of a fire, and we've had a few that have happened there, so they want to have a good quality amount of water to fight those fires. So that's kind of in a limbo right now. So we're on a project there. Other than that, got a new house being built on Northeast Street. It's going to be a big one, so that'll be a good big project going that we have here. Other than that, same old, same old. Writing violations, getting people to maintain their yards and do what they're supposed to do. So that's about it.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Yeah, what, council?
Nope, thank you.
We're good, thank you.
Better on reports. Again, people don't get to see this.
Hello, how's everybody? All right, for the library, for our monthly library visits, we've had 618 people for October, which has gone up, which is a great number, so keep on visiting the library. For our audio checkouts and our ebooks, that's the stuff that you go online. You can go on Libby because you get it free online to get books through other libraries through the area. We had 52 audiobooks checked out, and we've had about 60 ebooks checked out. So keep on checking out those books. It makes our numbers look good, so when I turn it into state, we can get accredited for the for state, so we can be noticed. Then to our next page is our graph of the library that just shows you how many of the visits that we get and how active we are. We have over 6,889 holdings in the library at this moment. We have 1,598 patrons. Still haven't reached that 600, so if you don't have a library card, come get us a library card. And right now, we have 291 books checked out. And for November, we have a busy schedule for November. We always have our Library in Motion. That's a class that we do with senior or beginner class that you can come and join us for about 30 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. I change it up all the time. We do Tai Chi, Body in Motion. We do, coming up next week, Wednesday, we're going to be doing the drum stick workout. And then we'll have, for the week of Thanksgiving, we have the Thanksgiving special. And then we have yoga at the end of the month, and that's usually at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, if you're interested. Then on Thursdays, we usually have our family story time around 10 o'clock, and then we have a preschool discovery time at 10:30 right after story time, kind of blends in together. So if you have any young ones or anything that enjoy story time or preschool, come and join us at those times. And then our beginner crochets are on Fridays. We have adults at 2 o'clock to 3:30. Our youth is at 3:30 to 4:30. And they're doing really good projects. Right now they're working on some garland for Christmas and working on blankets and gifts for their families. And I got some good work. I'm about to put on a picture on Facebook for all they've done. Come join us on the 20th of November. We're doing a library fall fest. We're going to do a story, crafts, games, and we're going to do a little snack. That will be in between 10 a.m. to noon. And then on the 21st, we have our movie time, which will be giving free popcorn. And we're going to be watching Freebirds at 3 p.m. on Tuesday the 21st. And then everybody have just a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Anything else you want to add, Dolores, for your report?
No, I think I'm good. How many trick-or-treaters did you
Oh,
have?
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, we had over 200 trick-or-treaters come visit the library.
Oh, wow.
And I had parents there praising how good we did, so that's
Good.
awesome.
Yes,
Oh, no, we give away books for friends of the library.
Oh, how cool.
great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Continue the good job. That's great. Thank you. every one of you as well. Agenda item number 5, approval of minutes of the October 12th regular council meeting and October 20th special council meeting.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. If there are no changes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Agenda item number 6, report on financial statements. Mr. Mason?
Yeah, Mayor, Council, I'd like to bring your attention to pages 30 through 40 of the council packet. On the investment report, the next CDs mature in January. We'll be looking at rates for that. The hotel motel tax report stayed the same. That didn't change. So I'll let you look over the accounts payable. If you have any questions there for me.
David, when you said hotel motel tax hasn't changed, so that, is he current?
It's current, yes,
Everybody's
yeah,
current, okay.
Yes, everybody's correct.
David, there was a payment of one of the hotels.
But it would have been after my report, I think. It'll be on the next report.
Cool. Okay, I got a thumbs up from everyone, David. Is there anything that you want to point out to them? Nothing?
I think we're good.
Okay. Move to agenda item number 7, approval of accounts payable and transfer of funds.
So moved.
I got a, Becky, okay. Have a motion and a second. If there are no additional changes or discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. You got this, thank you. Somebody other than me coughed, and I didn't hear who it was. We're going to skip agenda item number 8 unless we have somebody that came in late to be introduced. Everybody was good from the first time? Okay. Agenda item number 9, proclamation recognizing the parents as teachers, Pat, of the Schulenburg-Weimer area. Whereas the award-winning program, Parents as Teachers, is a school and family partnership designed to give children the best possible start in life. The program supports parents in their roles as child's first and most influential teacher. And whereas serving a full range of families from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds, Parents as Teachers has grown to include programs in all 50 states and 6 countries with over 40 sites in Texas serving communities in over 38 counties and approximately 10,000 children annually. Whereas first established in Texas in 1986 by the Mental Health Association in Texas, the Parents as Teachers program includes personal home visits, group connections, developmental screenings, and community resource information. And whereas the Schulenburg-Weimer program has served over 827 families with 1,264 children since 2002, and whereas education is the priority in Texas, and the Parents as Teachers program is an excellent example of providing a parent education, family support, and school readiness home visitation program. Now therefore be it resolved that the city of Schulenburg and Weimer, Texas hereby commend educators, families, and volunteers of the Schulenburg-Weimer area Parents as Teachers program and applaud their commitment and contributions to families so children will learn, grow, and develop to realize their full potential, and be it further resolved that a copy of this resolution be prepared as an expression of esteem from the cities of Schulenburg and Weimer. Okay, there's some folks here that you guys want to come up and take picture. Okay, well, we have somebody to take picture, we have somebody to come, there we go. Good. Just to the side.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nobody?
You're gonna get in the picture. Come on, the hill. We'll get somebody to take picture.
Miss Teacher.
Come have a seat.
Well, I can sit on each side.
Have a seat.
That's fine. Did y'all change y'all's name?
Yes.
Do you want to announce that before we go? Okay, very good. Sure.
All right, I'll begin. One, two, three. One, two, and two.
Very good. Thank you.
You're telling the new name, please?
Yes.
Parents as teachers of
You
rural.
want to tell them?
Oh, we're now known as parents as teachers of rural South Central Texas.
Okay, good. I just had heard that they had changed their name, so I just
Yes.
want to make sure that the public was aware of that as well. Okay?
There's an extra copy for them.
I'll get one.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is the one that I need to, I'll sign for y'all real quick.
Thank you.
There you go, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I might as well leave that over there for Lars, because I got to read this.
Just a small business.
Where'd the other one go?
I don't know, but they're here.
I stuck them all over somewhere.
There you go. Look, she was just excited.
I'm just trying to get it done.
Yeah, I know.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
It was the first thing that looked like proclamation written on the top.
Well, you got that one written.
So, I can read this one now, okay. I'll sign that one. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 10, proclamation declaring Saturday, November 25th, 2023 as Small Business Saturday. Small Business Saturday, Saturday, November 25th, 2023. Whereas small businesses are the backbone of our economy and the glue that holds communities together, and whereas the city of Weimer, Texas celebrates our local small businesses and the contribution they make to our local economy and community. Whereas the city of Weimer, Texas supports the efforts of local small businesses and recognizes the crucial role they play in our community, And whereas Small Business Saturday is a nationwide campaign to cultivate businesses for small merchants on the Saturday after Thanksgiving, and whereas Small Business Saturday will stimulate economic growth locally for small merchants by following in the tradition of Black Friday and Cyber Monday, two of the busiest shopping days of the year. And whereas we encourage citizens to consider shopping local merchants on Small Business Saturday as a way to boost the local economy and strengthen our small business community. Now therefore, I, Milton Kohler, Mayor, and on behalf of the City Council of Weimar, Texas, in the state of Texas, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 25th, 2023, as Small Business Saturday in Weimar, Texas, and encourage all citizens to join us in this worthy observance and to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. We have some folks that are some of our locals want to come up and take a picture.
Is the chamber here?
Is the chamber here by any chance? Okay. We have some small business folks in here.
Shelley's out in front.
Pardon?
Shelley's out there.
Yeah, we have some small business, some local businesses. Ms. Romine.
There you go. This is out of the way enough.
Thank you. Do you want to take that with you? Sure. You can hand it off to somebody else. Okay. Thank you. I don't know what all.
Thank you.
Oh, this is all yours.
Do you want that? I don't have to have as much room now. Thank you. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 11, discussion on city water quality issues. And this is per request from Councilman Scardino and Councilman Hellenkamp. So either one of you want to?
You wanna start?
I know there's a lot of concerns of brown water, a lot of complaints. We see them on social media. People stop us at the grocery store on the street, swing by my house. We're trying to figure out a plan. I think Jason's on top of it as far as trying to figure out where we're at on it. But we need to probably narrow down how, if there's grants available, where do we start, what do we do? And Jason, would you like to speak on this subject? Thank you.
And if you have to, Jason, you can take the mic. I know you, David's going to get something that's taller for you. I know you walked up earlier and went like this because we had spoke about making sure you're loud. If you wouldn't mind turning that more toward the audience, we're good. Just maybe turn your body and the podium more to the audience so they can hear, because this is more about for them.
Okay, so water quality issues, I know some people are seeing this black water, and, you know, I get it. You turn on your sink, black water comes out. That's the worst thing in the world for any water operator to see. What that is manganese in the water, okay? The city has a high content of manganese coming in from the ground through the wells and out in the system. From well 6. And from well 9, we have a high content of iron. Now, I'd had a company called Hawkins come out and do well testing on plant 3, with the 2 wells that go to plant 3. Because I'm wanting to add a chemical called polyphosphate to the water. What that does is sequesters the water, and it puts a coating inside the lines that keeps the stuff, the buildup inside the lines from breaking off and showing up in your drinking water at home. That will buy some time until we can get some of these 1-inch galvanized main lines replaced. On this map I have, this is a problem area. If y'all can see all that blue on this map, that's a 1-inch galvanized main line. It's a lot of blue. The problem we had on, I know a lot of people saw on Facebook, the problem people were having on West Post Office Street. West Post Office Street in August had a new 2-inch PVC line go in. People on one side got connected to it, but the people on the other side did not get connected to it. The 1-inch galvanized line they were connected to never got tied into the new 2-inch line, so the water pretty much, instead of flowing like a loop system, it came to a stop. When water stops and it's not used enough, it gets stagnant. The manganese causes the water to turn black, and the hydrogen sulfide causes the rotten egg smell. That's what we're seeing out here. So the reason why you probably didn't see a whole lot of black water in the past is because they were just flushing all the time. Flushing is a Band-Aid for that. It's not a solution. I'm trying to come up with a solution to it. We need to replace all these 1-inch galvanized mains in the city as we get grants and the money to do it. It's a must. We have to do it. These lines were put in a long time ago.
If you had to guess on those 1-inch lines, do you think that's 2, 3, 4, 5 miles of those, or not that much?
This is the northwest end of the city. It's a fraction of the city. That's a lot of blue on it. The yellow ain't much better. That's a 2-inch line. Some of those are cast iron line. Cast iron line, over time, it breaks down in the inside. And when you look in your toilet and you see all the, what it looks like sand or dirt in there, that's what you're seeing, is the inside of that cast iron line breaking down over time. It's not meant to stay in the ground forever. C900, C901, Schedule 40 PVC, Schedule 80 PVC does not do that. It does not break down like that, so, you know, that's what's used. Nowadays, they don't use none of the iron. I mean, maybe a little bit of ductile iron here and there, but, you know, mostly all new lines and service lines are going to poly or some type of PVC line. And like I said, I had well testing done on Water Plant 3, which I have not got those results back. And the 2 wells that were tested, they go into Water Plant 3, well 4 and 8. They're on this side of town. But I am noticing all the water quality issues on the northwest side of town, and that's where we get a lot of these in between North Exchange and North Center on Converse. I have a 1-inch line that goes down to North Center, goes up, dead ends, picks up again, and goes up towards north, crosses the street and comes down and feeds these 2 houses on this side. All of this is just, this up to right here and this up to right here is all just dead end line. That it's a 1-inch main. You know, if somebody came in and told me they wanted to, you know, upgrade to an 1.5 meter or 2-inch meter for pressure or something, I couldn't even, we couldn't support that because I can't put a 2-inch line on a 1-inch main. Some of these places, I was even talking with Dolores about this, because I was wanting to upgrade this to 6-inch, so we could put a fire hydrant. I forgot what the street is up here. Because we don't have a hydrant in that area, or any type of blow off or anything to flush any of this, to get this water moving, to clear this black water you're seeing out. We were able to clear it out on post office, transferring the lines, and I have hydrants I can flush on North Summit and North College to keep water moving, and that is acting like a loop system right now. But on West Converse in between North Exchange and North Center, I have no way of flushing other than going in someone's yard, taking their meter out, and flushing their service line to get water moving.
That fire hydrant, would it need one in that area anyway, besides just flushing out to
Well,
put a
me-
Band-Aid on it? Or, I mean, would it be helpful to have a
Yes,
hydrant?
it needs to be put one in.
Well, we can't,
because
so
there's no-
to put a fire hydrant in, you have to have a minimum pipe size of 6 inches.
Okay.
Now, you could put a blow off on a 2-inch line or a 4-inch line or whatever, but I would kind of think they need some, fire protection over it too, in case, it's the house fire or whatever. There's not another hydrant nearby, so. But we are, and I know some people still have the problem. I did see a bottle of black water in here earlier, right here. All I can do right now, until we start doing a line replacement, and I get my well test results back for 3 to maybe add polyphosphate, is to flush every day, a couple times a day.
What's the cost of that polyphosphate?
I'm getting all that. I was hoping to get it by the day so I could give it to everybody, at least if I just had one copy, I could pass it around. But
Has anybody quoted what it's gonna take to replace these, water lines?
I would think that'd be like project at a time, prioritize, Jason would have to prioritize where we should spend the money.
we transferred over the past week and a half, 2 weeks, since Halloween, maybe a little before Halloween, we transferred over 6 service lines to a new line that was experiencing black water. And now they're not experiencing black water because we took them off that old 1-inch main. But I can't, like, she lives 100 Converse. Is that right? West Converse. Your meter is right out here. I can't, even if I wanted to, which I tried, I thought of everything I could to get you off of that. I can't. It's all blue. There's nothing for me to move it to. I'm just moving it from one side of the line to, I'm moving it from one side of the line to the other side of the line, or to right here, where it just dead ends right there, or right here, where it just dead ends right here. I have nowhere to put it.
So if we were to replace that, would you tie into 155? Or
What I would do is I would replace all this right here and all this coming up with 6-inch line, put the hydrant down here, connect this, and everything would, be connected and be flowing, and we'd have a place to flush.
Is that something we would sub out, or is that something we could do?
No, we would have to sub that out. That's a pretty big job.
You don't want, too much.
And think about this, these guys that are going around fixing these leaks, we get a lot of main leaks. There's only 4 of them. There's a crew of 4 going around fixing streets, fixing leaks, trying to provide y'all the best service possible.
They're doing a great job. I mean, we've had a dry year and it shifted a lot of the ground. messing the pipes up and things. Well, I mean, we understand that. We need to come up with a plan how to, and that's why we're concerned. We want to empower you to do what you need to do and figure out a plan so we can move forward.
Since this is the most problem area right now that I'm seeing, I would go ahead and start on replacing between North Exchange, North Center, up North Center, and going all the way down to the 12-inch on West Grange.
We don't have to wait for water quality results from that well to start getting quotes or plans together, do we?
I have this, no, that's just to add polyphosphate.
Gotcha, okay.
The water that comes out of Water Plant 3 from well 4 and 8 is 100 times better than what comes out of 6 and 9. And that's why I wanted y'all to see that one report. It breaks down, they had everything that was found. They break down why things were doing, brown water was in the distribution system. When I read that, I was like, it gave me a lot of information. It checked some stuff off my list.
Are you needing more help in your department?
We interviewed one today. We're going to interview another tomorrow, and I think with the addition of Mark, I've worked with him for a long time.
Good.
He's very knowledgeable. We're going to figure it out.
Good.
So the 250 that we budgeted for water lines this year, is that already allocated to another line, or is that something we could put towards the one you were just discussing?
Well, I was wanting to put that towards, go ahead and start replacing this 1-inch mains
Right,
around here.
and that's what it was.
Yeah.
We just pick our places we want to do.
So to put in perspective how much it costs to replace some of these lines, like the project we just did, wasn't that around 250,000 or so
I'm not sure what that one costs. I didn't.
on Summit?
It was more than
Summit. So it's pretty expensive, so it's not, you can't bite off
David, do you
miles
know?
of road at a time, right?
Right. Do you know the total project of that, David?
Wasn't it around, it was around 250, wasn't
I thought it was.
That water line on.
it?
What percentage would that take care of what he's got on that map? It's hard to tell it.
More than that.
It's just one neighborhood.
Yeah.
I got you.
Well, even if we started like a block at a
If we
time,
start,
at least we can move forward and show some kind of progress to the residents.
Or possibly, if we could ease back on the street projects a little bit and shovel some more of that money towards the water.
Yeah, water's a big issue.
And you said it's mainly northwest side?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Don't redo any streets over there this time.
I have people on the south side over here that said their water got better. I know the city has had some issues in the past, and as a water operator, you do your best to resolve the issues, and that's what Public Works is trying to do.
I think that's the reason why we requested it. We know you're doing everything you can, and we just kind of wanted to educate everybody what our plan is. So.
Yeah, it's shining light for the citizens that you are actually doing something, and that way we know what direction we're going and how we can help you.
If you do experience black water or discolored water, running your bathtub for 10 to 15 minutes could help the issue a little. It should clear the water up a little bit. Might not clear it up a whole bunch, but it will help. And also too, if you have, experienced really bad water, Public Works Department, we will give out cases of water if need be. And so we can figure something out.
And that'd be drained the farthest faucet down the line inside
It's
the
usually
house,
a
right?
bathtub.
Jason, how many months have you been here?
2.
2 months? And I'm saying that because I want them to hear you came in here taking the job on that we already had problems, and a pat on the back of what you're already trying to accomplish. It's not going to change overnight, and I understand what these two councilmen are trying to do is educate the community that you're really doing the work that you need to. It's just the Band-Aid is falling off in places.
I'm
and-
trying to eliminate
Yes.
us having to use the Band-Aid method.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
And I want to make sure that this goes on record as well. If you have a problem with water, please don't post on Facebook. Call to the city hall and so they can get the information from you. Their department doesn't take reports off of Facebook to go fix things. It's got to come in here, and the papers that I showed you earlier that this thick, that's that work report that they do. They create a work order, so that's how they know how to go out and do the jobs where there's problems. So please work with them so they can help you guys out. You good? Now, it's an agenda item. Does anyone in the audience want to speak on the agenda item or ask the question? If so, if you'll come up to the podium, announce who you are, and we will try to answer the question for you.
Jason, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Everybody good? Okay. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 12, discussion and approval of Chamber of Commerce Executive Director salary. Doris?
Okay, so last year, or for the last few years, last year, the chamber executive was funded $17,000 in our budget. And we are recommending that this come out of the contributions to other organizations, electric fund, again this year.
So moved.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. All opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to agenda item number 13, discussion and approval of the 2023 Gadinki Festival expenses reimbursement. Somebody from the chamber here? Yes. If you'll, do you want them to come up?
Whatever they want to do.
You know what you're supposed to be asking us for? Okay, if you'll introduce, if you'll introduce yourself.
I'm Jennifer Owens. I'm the treasurer for the Weimar Chamber. Do you need me to say more?
That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
Right now, we are asking for the chamber reimbursement from the city for $10,000 for Gadinki from last year. I know that our president, Amy Brandt, went over the profit and loss, and you'll see that there was a little bit of a difference from last year, but that's mainly due to there being inclement weather this year, and we did have to still pay some of our entertainment. So that would be why. We were trying to make it a big thing for 150th anniversary, but obviously the weather had other plans. I don't know if anybody has any questions. I'll try to answer them as best I can.
That is what we've given is $10,000 from the electric fund contributions to other organizations for the last couple of years.
Do we have an interlocal agreement with the chamber, or?
No. They did away with it quite a few years back.
Something that you would like to entertain to happen again?
Who, me?
Yes.
Well, when giving money to nonprofits or organizations, I know we did the Little League, and, they told us it was going to go toward the fields, the dirt work, and then chamber, of course. I wasn't aware that we didn't have an interlocal agreement with the chamber, and I was just curious if that's something we need to do to, we're giving money from the citizens to the chamber for the Gadinki, and I believe, I remember last year, Becky, you asked, did they profit last year? Why are we reimbursing if they're profiting? I'm just curious.
Not, we can discuss it later, but it's just making sure that I'm putting it out in front of everybody. So,
Sure.
yeah, yeah. It's not anything we would vote on today. just
Correct.
You're having conversation about it. Okay, it is a action item, so I'm gonna call for a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the $10,000 to the Gadinki Festival for reimbursement for expenses, and it will be coming out of the electric fund.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your hard work.
Yeah, I figured you wanted me to stay here for the next few items.
We'll move to agenda item number 14, discussion and approval of closing the 100 block of East Post Office Street and the 100 block of North Mechanic Street for the sip-in shop scheduled for December 2nd.
What's the
I
time?
think she's provided a,
I believe it begins at 3.
2:30.
2:30?
2:30.
I think the businesses close down at 2:30, but it starts at 3, I believe, is how it,
So we'll be shutting them down from what, 2:30 to 10?
9.
9?
In her written stuff, it says 10.
Okay, I always thought it was something like
It's okay, go off
3
of
to
that.
10.
I'm here as a
Both of them.
fill-in.
Yes.
in the literature that, the request that she provided is beginning at 2:30 PM until 10 PM on Saturday.
Go with that.
I would so move.
When are we doing the celebration for Weimer? Are we doing it on one of the agenda items? That'd be either the sip and shop or the down home Christmas, right?
That's on number 25.
Number 25.
That's further down the line.
Okay, I didn't know.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
One more time?
Agenda item number 15, discussion and approval of closing the 100 block of East Post Office Street and the 100 block of North Mechanic Street for Down Home Christmas scheduled for December 14th.
Same times? That's the parade, isn't it?
This is the parade.
Okay, so this is at 5 o'clock.
Nobody gave us any times on
We can make those up.
Okay.
I think it's usually at 5:30. So I think the parade starts at 5:30, so the street probably closes at 5. And it's usually over about 8. We'll go with that.
And we're doing something here at the City Hall as well? for
Yes,
the-
Santa will be
Santa
here.
will be here.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion, and just because the numbers may not have been cleared, what time again, just for the record?
I think it's 5 p.m. to 9 p.m.
5 to 9, okay.
Yeah.
I wrote 8, because that's what I thought I heard.
Yes, yeah.
We'll
I
just,
said 9 to Becky.
Yeah, we're gonna go with Becky.
All right, that's why I want to make sure we're
I'm
on.
not in the chamber, but I just think that sounds good.
It does sound good.
Gives you a
we'll
push.
just
Yes.
include something reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move to agenda item number 16, presentation of retirement plaque for Stephen A. Krobiak. So I'm gonna come out here actually and read this. I'm not even in the bus now. I'm gonna be big name by using my glasses. Thank you, congratulations. Thank you. So I want you to face them while I read this. It says retirement award, and we just give you guys a picture of what it looks like. Okay? It says retirement award presented to Stephen A. Krobiak, gratitude for this dedication, devotion, and loyal service to the city of Weimar, and is dated November 9th, 2023. And I want to thank you very much for your services for all the times that you've been here. Not only helped out these folks, but all these folks out here as well.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you.
Awesome job.
Stephen? Oh, here's a box.
Here's a box.
So, you get a bag so it doesn't rain on it.
Doesn't want it rained on.
I didn't want that to be in the picture. That's nice for them to come.
Yes.
Jonathan, you may want to do it now. Done, it's done, it's done. Okay, we're gonna skip over 17 because we don't have information ready for that, so we'll put it at next council meeting. We'll move to agenda item number 18, discussion and action for bids for 2 air conditioning units for the Civic Center.
Okay, so we have actually 4 bids from 3 different individuals. And we are recommending to go with Leon's for $13,150 with the additional option of $1,700.
So will you actually say out loud what the other ones were, just so
Okay.
everybody in the public can hear?
We
what-
got a bid from Winkler, Air Conditioning and Electric for, let's see, $14,400 for 2 5-ton Comfort Maker systems. Leon's had 2 Train units for $14,570, and a second type, it was 2 Run True by Train units for $13,150. We've given us 2 options, an option for air purifiers for $1,700. And then we got an additional bid from Schuster AC for $15,375, and that was in Armstrong units. So we're recommending to go with the Leon's, the second one.
Are we looking at just price, or are we looking at the warranty on these? Because I'm looking at 5 years versus 10.
We looked at the warranty, but we're also looking at the type of unit it is.
That it can
The
provide.
Armstrong,
Yeah.
yeah,
Got you? I'm just
Train versus Train.
Well, it looked like the SEER evaluation is similar.
Yes, the Schuster, the Armstrong is a little more, but Jonathan, I don't know.
So, on the
He has
Armstrong unit, that's, what's the price, 14,000 and some change, 1447 or something like that? 14,470?
15,375.
So Armstrong, yes, they give you a 10-year warranty for your compressor, then typically it should be a 1 or 2 year on parts and labor, meaning if something happens, they come and cover it within those 2 years. The problem, Armstrong is, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if they got Armstrong something, but that quality brand it's a known problem unit. I've dealt with them for 9 years. They are problematic, and so even though you have the warranty, it's not like it for the compressor itself, but it's the unit inside, or it's the small parts that will add up to money in the long run. Train, you can't beat it. I would buy Train all day long, but Train and the next model that Train's offering is just basically a sister to the Train. So you're not buying it and it says Train on it. You're buying the same quality with a different name. Same thing for Comfort Maker. Comfort Maker is a sister carrier to Carrier Industries. Same, built by the same exact company. One's less good, like Hill Country Fair and Ranch. I mean, you got two different brands. It's your preference, but I would stay away from Armstrong. That's what I was discussing with Mr. Lord. They're problematic. If you want to choose between the other two, that's your decision, but I would definitely go with the Train side. The warranty is not 10 years, but you will never have a problem with Train's warranty. If you call, they're on it every single time. So I would stay away from Armstrong, and then y'all can decide between the other one. And then the purifiers for $1,700 is something I would do as well as what I recommend. It's going to give you a lot longer lifespan on your unit and help keep the debris and dust down from inside of the unit when you're full. So for that price, I wouldn't leave it out. So that was my recommendation to her for which unit.
Jonathan, tell them what your experience is with air conditioning.
Yeah, I've done it for 9 years. I wouldn't steer anybody wrong on what to buy, but the units that I've seen here at the Civic Center, there are an older system, and if you replace just one, your newest one now is gonna work just as hard, because this one is not keeping up near what this one's doing. So, replacing one is kind of out of the question. If you got a double system, double unit like that, it's better to go ahead and spend the money now, because if you do it now, you're gonna pay close to what the cost, and then you're doing it again in 6 months. You're gonna spend a little money, so I would do it now. The problems you'll run into is bad coils. I don't know what you want.
I just wanted you to, we asked somebody and you stood up and started telling them, and I don't want them to think like Jonathan's, Jonathan's got long years of experience in air conditioning, so that's why I just wanted you to,
So we're looking at the system number 2, the
Yes,
SunTrue.
with the,
Run true.
with the options added, correct?
with the options added, so it come to $14,850 for system 2.
I so move that we have Leon's Electric and Plumbing install system number 2 for, give me that price again.
$14,850.
$14,850.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Move to agenda item number 19, discussion and submission of service plan for the annexation petition received from Jose Magana for annexation of property in the ETJ of the 13.485 acre tract located at 503 West North Street. Doris, you want to say anything about that?
No, I think y'all, I remember to spell the name right.
It's okay.
I was checking. This is just an outlay of all of the services that the city provides to that property for annexation. And it just tells them exactly what we're providing. This is something that's required under the annexation code. So we had to put one together.
It's just the same thing we would do anywhere else in the city.
Right. For anything that's annexed, we're required now to make a service plan agreement.
And you don't need anything on that, do you? It's just a...
No, it's
Yeah,
just
a discussion
acknowledgement
that
for the
we
next
are
item.
all basically just presenting it to you guys. Okay?
Right.
So
Go ahead.
they're, the developer, they're paying for all infrastructure.
That's correct.
And
And it
How about-
states that in here.
Does it, how about the engineering of the infrastructure?
They have to pay for
They have to pay for it, okay. And then they also pay for the inspection that we would have done on it as well, correct? Yeah. So I wanna make sure.
Anybody else? I'll move on. Everybody good? Well, I'll hold up till I get a nod. You good? You good? Good. Okay. Move to agenda item number 20, discussion and approval of ordinance setting date of the first public hearing in the annexation petition received from Jose Magana for annexation of property 3.988 acres of the ETJ of the 13.485 acre tract located at 503 West North Street. Dolores?
So, in order to approve an annexation, you have to have at least 2 public hearings. There's some guidelines, you can't have them, you can't advertise any more than 20 days and no closer to the date than 10. So I've kind of figured out the day that for the first public hearing would be November the 30th. And then the second one would be whatever time we said. And then the second one would be on December, what is it, 14th?
14.
Yeah, our next council meeting. And then we could also approve the annexation at that time.
Are we gonna move that December meeting though? Or December?
Well, we have to, the mayor's,
Oh, we have to do the
got a
first one and then
proposal,
we can-
yeah.
Okay.
But we're not
That's why she
setting
doesn't
that
have
one.
that on
That's right,
there.
we're just doing.
We're just
setting
doing the
first.
first
Okay.
one. But I don't know what time, I put in the ordinance 4 o'clock, but it doesn't have to be at 4 o'clock.
Does that need to be put in the motion? Do we need to put a time or just a date?
Yes, go ahead, put the time,
4 o'clock?
yes.
I'll make a motion that we set the first date, public hearing for the Jose Magan annexation of property for November 30th, 2023 at 4 PM.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. Just making sure that there's not anybody in the audience that doesn't want to speak on that agenda item. Okay? Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Did we skip, did we skip?
17.
Yes,
We
okay,
skipped over that.
gotcha. Sorry about that.
Okay. Agenda item number 21, discussion and approval of resolution authorizing approval for the management contract award for the home program through the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs for the approved RSP agreement home, HRA contract 2024-005.
Okay, so this is a resolution to approve entering a contract for the home program again. Our contract ended already for the first period. I don't know if it's for 4 years, but it just ended when we approved the other. We just got 3 homes constructed. Those were still under the old program. This is re-enrolling again for another period for the home program. We need to get this approved, and then we can go ahead and, we're going to be having proposals for, is this right?
And it's also, it's also awarding Langford the,
Yes,
Nothing changes, it's just the same thing.
that's correct. It's all the same.
Yeah, she's just making sure that we are in compliance with being in the program, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
To continue the program, we have to do
I would
this.
so move we approve resolution number 07-2023 and awarding the management contract to Langford Community Management Services.
I second.
Have a motion and a second. It's open for additional discussion. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. We move to agenda item number 22, discussion on purchase of mini excavator. Dolores or Jason?
Jason?
Or both?
I think he's the only one who used the podium today, practically.
So,
I
it's
don't know
already
if he needs
seeing you
to.
coming. Look, it's already.
Okay, so the Public Works Department would like to purchase a mini excavator. Sometimes, well, not only are we're having an issue with one of our backhoes right now, we're down to one backhoe. The mini excavator, it's more ideal for some of our jobs, especially working in someone's yard. It's a lot easier to maneuver into tight spaces, to transport, well, not really transport, because we drive the backhoe around. This was something I wanted to bring up because everywhere else I've worked, we've had an excavator. It's worked out well for the city. They're a lot easier to maintain, and it's just something I wanted to talk with the council about making a purchase for one.
Where are we renting it from now? That's at the Star Equipment Rentals? Is that where we're renting from now?
I haven't rented one personally, but the one that we sent back the first week I was here, I believe it came from there.
What do we pay to rent this thing?
Right there.
Did
Is
I
it-
give
is
you?
it-
Yes.
Because I see,
It's different amounts because it was for longer period of time.
okay.
What'd be the cost of an excavator?
I bought one in 2019 for the city of Bel Air, and I paid with a jackhammer attachment, a wide and narrow bucket, a John Deere, I believe it was a 35 model, a G35 model. I believe we paid about $50,000.
50?
50 to 55.
50.
So if we had that, we could, there's some of these projects maybe we're subbing out, we would maybe be able to fix ourselves sooner, or
Right. So our big backhoe, the one that we do have that's still in, decent, it's older, but it's still in pretty decent condition. Well, it could go at any time, but, we could save that for our bigger jobs. Use this mini excavator for the little tight, small jobs that we've been experiencing here lately, especially these mains that are in people's yard. We're not tearing up the yard. There's a less potential to hit gas lines and everything, smaller bucket, it's a more precise dig. You don't got a big backhoe bucket going into the ground and,
We have a low boy that could handle that,
we have some trailers in the back, I could fix one up.
so we wouldn't need a trailer.
I don't think, we got some stuff in the back, I haven't really looked at it too closely, but we got some stuff we could take and, we could check the axles out on them and, the leaf springs and everything, check the condition of the bed,
Where did you have to take this thing back to? You said you took one that we had rented out. Where did you take it back to?
They actually came and picked it
They
up.
picked it up.
Yeah, they delivered and picked it up.
so what would be the next step on this? Bring us bids or different prices for different,
I guess I would I'd get some quotes,
Yeah.
some prices, and I'd present them to
Is
you.
there a certain brand or size that you're kind of eyeballing or you have in favor?
Oh, they're all good. I know the last one I bought was a John Deere. It was the best quality for the best price at the time. But they're all pretty good. I mean,
I'd say get some quotes together
yeah.
and bring it back to us.
We wanted to see how y'all were receptive to it or not. before we went out for bids. And, you know, then he,
I agree with him, the smaller the unit.
Well,
Get around.
you know, like we were saying, we just, you know, if we spend that kind of money, you know, we would like to see some more stuff, you know, done ourselves as much as we could, you know. We, within reason. You know, we understand the big jobs. I know you don't wanna, it's too much, but, you know, we're all about keeping y'all more efficient, so.
I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Once we get prices, so.
Well, based on what you guys got presented in front of you, which is basically like a year,
Just the render, yeah.
$11,000 in a year, and you're gonna be using it more often because of the issues and the promises that you made already. That's paid for itself in 5 years, without a doubt, so,
Come next summer, it'll probably be used every day.
yeah, that's amazing, yeah. Sounds like it'd be a good investment, just depending on,
Well, maybe while you're at it, scope out them trailers to make sure,
Yeah,
We don't need to pack it, job pack that
yeah,
one
we
either.
don't need to.
don't wanna lose it on the street somewhere else.
No, sir.
And if you've got equipment, you know, like you said, if it's obsolete, not usable, if it's in your way, we'd probably try to auction it off or get rid of it, right?
Well, actually, so what happened, one of the backhoes, the motor locked up on it. So we're actually gonna, you know, one of them cold rainy days, we're actually gonna bring it into the warehouse and I'm gonna try to unlock the motor up on it. I'm gonna try to see if it's repairable. So,
Be good.
now, I don't wanna get rid of it yet.
But I agree
no,
with
because
Mr.
that was a
Orr.
2006,
If you can
hopefully.
check the trailers out, you know, make sure that we're gonna, might need a new trailer at the same time as the excavator, that, you know, the job packet.
Okay.
Thank you.
Jason?
Thank you.
And Jason, didn't you try to rent a machine, a trencher for that
Trencher.
last,
So
post office.
if we would've had this excavator, so the lines we transferred on post office, we could've had the narrow bucket and just trenched across the road instead of, with the excavator. Instead of me having to rent a trencher from outsourcing, you know, trencher.
All right, thank you, Jason.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Agenda item number 23, discussion and approval of date change on the December council meeting. Dolores?
okay, this is the same day, our council meeting is the same day as the down-home Christmas. I don't know if y'all want to change it or not, but apparently we did last year and made it earlier in the day.
I think we've been doing it for umpteen years, as long as I've been.
Yeah, we just don't interfere with Santa.
We always had it the same day, I think, and we just did it early.
Did they like it
It's
2
not a
o'clock
big-
or something
I
like that?
can't change too much with the date for the, you know, for the annexation schedule that we have kind of set
Yes.
up. But I can't do it earlier, a week earlier, so it's gonna be right in a few days
I mean, we could
of
do
each
it.
other.
December 7th?
No,
No, she
Can't
can't
do
do it
that.
because of the
Sorry,
annexation.
misunderstood you.
yeah,
Sorry.
I would,
So,
so if we could do it that day and do it at 2
Earlier.
instead?
yeah,
Or 3,
How- well, we always say what's on the agenda, but December's usually not a big agenda
not
month.
too much.
We just won't put a, yeah,
I mean-
try to,
We just won't.
Well,
we just
But
will
it's
try to
just normally
keep the
not.
only, yeah.
So what we
That's
have to
true.
try to do is, by the time the parade gets here, we've cleared out City Hall parking and stuff.
Yes.
And I think they have are they doing the kiddos this year again, dancing in
I
front? Do
think
we
they
know?
are, but I,
They've done that every year, so I would expect they're coming back, so.
I'd say at least either 2. So if it's a 2-hour meeting, we're out by 4, so we can get out and still go down. Watch the parade. I mean, 2 or 3.
2 or 3.
y'all want.
Somebody has to have a motion to change it.
I'm gonna have it at 3 on
Okay?
the next meeting,
December 14th.
December 14th.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Okay, All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Agenda item number 24, discussion on City of Weimar Facebook page. This was presented to us, or asked to be by Councilman Scardino and Councilman Helkamp. The floor is either one of yours.
Yeah, so I requested this. I think, whether we love or hate Facebook, I think that it's probably a necessary evil in today's world. We could probably all do a little bit better job of communicating with our citizens, and I don't think it'd be a place to let people comment and stuff like that. It'd be more to share agenda, share maybe what Jason's out on the streets doing, fixing water lines, stuff like that, power outages. I think it'd be a good time. We got a lot going on in the city, and let's show everybody what we're doing, and also use it as a way to communicate for other emergencies.
There was talks of it being done. Is there any status on that?
Yeah, Danny had started work on it, and they stumbled, they kind of went to a dead end. She had applied and got denied. Milton, then the mayor tried to do something with it. Did you find out anything
So
with
I
the
have someone who
individual?
kind of does those things. I'm using the mayor's City of Weimar email, because I don't want to do it on a personal thing. So she's setting something up. She does not have it live today, but she's asking what do we want on the front. And she's so far said, I'll just use the Weimar logo to place it on there. And she said, then I'm going to put in check the boxes or whatever it needs to be, that there would be no comments that would be posted. Only thing would be is she needs to know who has authorization to post the pictures and comments and information on there. And I told her we probably would have maybe 3 people or maybe 4 people, but we will eventually get that information to her. And it's not her regular 9-to-5 job or 8-to-5 job, but she was willing to do that for us, and I told her just have to give me a. She actually working on some stuff for me as well.
It's kind of like
She's very-
155 next to Councilman Scardino's. It looks great, and people would like to know if they're not. They don't drive that part of town all the time.
Right.
That hey, it's done. We got it finished, and take pictures of it and put it on there. And,
Exactly.
just update and kind of like, hey, check out the water tower. It's going to be purple because they've won. And, things like that. Simple things.
Yeah, so it was something we were working on, and then we kind of stumbled, and it just kind of got left.
It happens.
So we're back on track now. Hopefully we'll
And I
get it.
will communicate with Dolores so she can communicate with you guys where we are and how soon it goes live.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because when it goes live, we want to make sure
Something
everybody in
that's good,
Weimar
yeah.
starts to get liked on it, so they get all the notices when something comes up.
Cool. Probably be good to get some communication between the schools on it as well, so we can, if we need to post something, events for schools and stuff too, right?
True. I think they have their own, but depending
They're
on
part
what
of
it is.
Weimar, so-
Just depending on what it is.
Probably
Yep.
does most of it.
Mr.
But
Scardino,
yes.
you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Great.
You-
Thanks, Dolores.
Just making sure, you two, okay? Agenda item number 25, update on Weimar Sesquicentennial celebration plans. So what we have come up with is on December 14th, during the Down Home Christmas, when the parade actually gets downtown, we will have the presentation of the acknowledgement of our sesquicentennial thing, probably here on the courthouse steps, or we may have it at the gazebo. Hasn't been decided yet.
Just depending on weather. I'm
Yeah,
sure.
the weather's a factor. I know a lot of people will be right here, which is what I'm really hoping for, especially if the kids are all here, the folks will be around and can see the presentation. I'm trying to invite Senator Huffman to come to make the presentation to the city or whatever, how we want, but haven't gotten a response back if that date and time is available, because I wanted to make sure we were good with it. So, all good? It'll be something simple, but at least acknowledging it's kind of like a celebrate with the parade and all the stuff that the kids are doing.
Good.
We need to get the chamber, get more active on what they're gonna do.
That's kind of where I was partnering with the
Yeah.
chamber, but they haven't finalized all their stuff yet either, so, yeah. But we will communicate with you guys, and if the Facebook page is working by then, it'll be posted on there as well. But Dolores will be communicating with you guys where we are, and then we'll get it out to folks. Because I want to have as many folks here as possible, again, depending on weather. Okay, before we go into executive session, yes,
Are we into 17?
pardon?
17?
No, we're skipping that. We're skipping, yeah. Where's the citizens? I don't know what the last sheet is.
Now,
The last page.
29.
29.
Okay. Before we go into executive session, I'm going to jump to 29. Okay.
Employee salary.
Discussion on employee salaries. Who, is that you, Dolores? Or is there someone?
who asked for that?
Kevin, yes.
But did.
Okay. All yours.
Well, my,
Yes.
my question is, some of these low raises are pretty low, not even close for a cost of living raise. I mean, you put 8 hours to one of it, you can't buy a loaf of bread.
Well, you know,
And the second of all is, who evaluated all these people?
we just go through the performance and go ahead and give them raises as they, are performing. Jason helped me with his department, and I talked to the police chief on some of those. And Steve helped me with some of them.
So Jason helped you evaluate?
He helped determine what amount of raise he would like to put up for an employee.
Are you sure
Yes.
about that?
Yes.
If I question Jason, what would he tell me?
Well, I know I talked to him about it, so he should tell you yes.
I think what Jason told me is you asked him to sign these papers where raises were given already.
No. That's not true.
You sure?
I'm positive. We changed some of them, so yes.
When did you change?
Excuse me?
When did you change them?
We changed them when he was gonna sign them.
He changed one.
I have no idea. I don't remember how many we changed.
There was one that had a promotion. He said that deserves a better raise than that.
Well, all I can say is I did talk to the department heads on them. And, if they didn't speak up, of course, as you know, David gave me an amount that we had to work with. We tried to implement that as best we could to determine how much could be applied in 2 different employees. And there's some employees that were still in probationary stages, so we kind of worked around those right now. There was supposedly 3% of the overall salaries that was included in the budget. And that doesn't mean that every employee gets 3%. But that's how much Mike had figured, and y'all told me that's what we're working with.
So,
And I do believe that there are a lot of employees that need higher than what we're paying them.
well, I'm just looking at your office personnel. They 1%, 1.5%,
Right?
2%. So who evaluated you for your raise?
Well, I can't tell.
Right. In open session, you can't speak about somebody's personal.
Yes. You can't address one particular person in public. We'd have to have that posted. But,
Personal salary is not publicly.
Well, then
Correct,
it's
Mr.
individuals. gotten 1%, and this, that, and then, well, there's a couple of them that jumped up 5%.
You know, and a lot of it was looking at what, there were some people that, you know, there's some people that didn't get the certifications they were required to get, just like, you know,
I still,
last meeting we talked about.
I mean, I just don't understand how you don't evaluate.
Well, we used to do manual evaluations and hand them out
And that's
and
what I'm
get
getting
them.
at, that's what I'm trying to get
But
at.
that hasn't been going on for a few years now. We can get back to that, but Mike hadn't been doing that for the last few years.
I mean, shouldn't each department to get a certain amount they deal with to give raises, and who gets it for their performance?
That's not how it's been done. We could change that, but that's not, it's just overall the salaries, 3% to be distributed by the city manager where they feel like it needs to be.
I'm gonna ask, that we go back to, evaluations. I think employees look forward to that. Some don't if they're not good employees, but if they're good employees, they look forward to that, because everybody deserves or wants a pat on the back, even words, but that price tag does feel better when you receive a little bit more money, of course. I think that's what Catfish is after, that we need to have a little more documentation for these employees.
I mean, even, I think cost of living raise was supposed to be around like 4% this year.
We had 3% of the salaries in there. But you also have to consider, like, if somebody is making a higher salary and you give them a 3% versus somebody that's making $20, it's
Good
gonna
point.
seem very unfair to them.
Good point.
I mean, so I don't know if it's, you know, but that's just the way it's been done. And we do have some left out of David and I were looking at all the, salary increases, and there is some left, but there are some, we have several employees in probationary periods still where they're gonna get increases if they, are doing their job.
When do they normally do the evaluations? Or when do you?
It's usually done in September, October.
We're not far from that. Could we implement that at the beginning of the year, do an evaluations on these employees to kind of get the ball rolling?
We can,
I mean, would that make sense?
So, explain
There's-
a COLA merit raise and a COLA merit.
Well, David, you're gonna have to explain that, because I didn't use that.
I think Mike put the cost of living raise and then the cost of living with a merit.
Well, they ain't come close to it,
Based
then.
on a review, yeah.
A lot of these employees didn't even come close to that, then.
We have, I know from what it looks like, what was budgeted, and what was given, there's probably still money left where maybe we could go back and look at some of these 1 or
Right.
1.5%.
When is this supposed to go into effect?
Well, it did go into effect the last paycheck.
Okay.
I mean, you gotta take care of your employees. If
Definitely.
you don't, they don't
Up and leave.
up and leave for more money.
There's some of our employees really are low.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Where's
And
the raises?
I
Where's the raises to help them
tried
get to
to
what they need?
increase some of those, but
I know I can't think of her name, the cleaning lady, she got a good raise, and I think she deserved it.
well, she was very low.
Yeah, I mean,
And
she,
Russell? Oh,
well, I think
Yeah.
Russell, you
we're
didn't
not
have,
supposed to.
Correct.
I have this one
Don't
here.
go to individuals because they're not present.
So how much money do we have left? And then you also said there's probation periods that could change the effect of this what's the price tag of what we have left budgeted for?
David, was it about 25? Is what you had figured?
Yeah, I think that's about
25,000?
Mm-hmm. Which we used about 26,000.
So, when do we plan on, revisiting this, distribution of this 25 or 26,000?
Well, we can wait until the beginning of the year and try to get some evaluations done, but like I said, there are people that need certifications.
Sure.
And then when they get their certifications, then they are gonna be up for sure.
So if you think somebody's doing a certification, put it in the pot over here to hold it,
Right.
and then that would take away from the 26,000, because
Correct.
that's
How many
probably
do
gonna get
How many
provided.
how many are we looking to get certified?
There's 2 that I know of, and then there's probationary. There's probably, gosh, there's quite a few,
Yeah, we have a lot of new employees.
6, 8, so all of those are,
I think we need to do an evaluation at the beginning of the year to help aid distributing the funds for these employees. And we need to make that known so they feel a little more appreciated that this is going to take place for them.
But we also need to know that out of this 25, we need to be, for these that are getting certified because they earned that.
Well, that'd be part of the evaluation as well.
Right.
right.
So we have to make sure we kind of ear tag some of that.
Yeah, but I mean.
Well, and there's been no notations in anybody's files what they've been promised by the previous city manager for us to go back to. And that would have been nice, to have that either in an evaluation or somewhere.
I'd like to
But it
get on next month's agenda to do a discussion and action to put in place to have employees' evaluations done at a certain time and have it documented.
right. And they're done in the summer, and then the department head would do the evaluation. The department head would make the recommendation for the salary increase based on what they have in their budget.
Sure.
And then that would be approved by the city manager.
I think the only problem with that is that the ordinances, that would violate the ordinances.
It would.
It would,
With-
yeah. In
with
other words,
both,
yes. You guys can tell the city manager what you want done. We'll get back to this, but you can't micromanage how it's still done because the ordinances are very specific.
No, we don't want, I'm not implementing that. What I'm saying is I want evaluations done on the employees. That's.
Just tell the city manager to do it, but you can't, it's not an action item for city council to pass something saying.
I didn't know if that's how it had to be done.
Because if you go read what I would recommend city council read the ordinances about what they give the authority to the different department heads, mayors, the city manager specifically and stuff, because that's in the ordinance, and so we can't violate the ordinance. I'm not telling you it's not a bad idea, I'm just saying we can't have a discussion and action item on it. And you can discuss it
Yes.
all day long, and you can absolutely, you can tell the city manager, if you don't do this, we're gonna fire you, and that's fine.
I just think,
I see what you're saying.
She's not saying
I didn't know if that's how it had to be done.
I mean, Jason's gonna see the guys working. I think he ought to have a little say-so or recommend what the raises ought to be. I think the police chief ought to recommend which ones are doing a great job that should get this type of raise. I'm not gonna say they're gonna get it, but I would like to see his recommendation, and then I'd like to see what they get.
Bring those, let the department heads bring those to council in September during budget, what their recommendation for the raises are. We approve it to have evaluations in October to give the raise.
That has to go to
I
the
don't
city
think you
manager.
can approve raises, Kurt.
I mean, the overall budget.
Yeah,
Overall
And that's what I was looking here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is supposed to be the
So we just don't have arbitrary numbers.
23, 24 years.
We have more of a,
Part of what the problem was this past year is, and you heard me ask Jason earlier, he's been here 2 months. And raises like how can he know what somebody did the entire year and evaluate them when he's only been here 2 months?
No, that, I totally agree.
So,
But that's,
and what council
And I
had,
agree with you on
Yeah.
that point, but
Yeah.
you don't just have somebody go in there and give them a snowball, a low ball raise
right. So, and what council
after a guy
had,
worked a year.
had kind of advised Dolores to do is take up what Mike had provided. That's where she got her numbers from.
May I speak on this, please? I do have something I'd like to say.
Don't do
And
voting.
if you don't mind. And I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. Y'all know who I am. I'm one of those guys. My name is Jonathan Perales, for those of you who don't know. So, I'm not here to step on anybody's toes. I'm not here to cross any lines. If I don't have a job tomorrow, I get it. But what I am gonna say is, the thing that we're talking about is, you just said it yourself, Dolores worked on what Mike had to give her. I had my evaluation.
We can't talk about one individual, so just.
Okay, so no name. So I had an evaluation done. Okay, that evaluation was done. I was then promised an amount for the 23-24 year budget. When that raise took effect and I realized what I was making per hour, that's not what was given or what was stated by the last individual. So if you're saying that one is supposed to go off of what he provided, that puts me at an amount that I'm not gonna make this year. And it's not a budget proposed to pay up to, that is a budget that was approved by each one of you council members. And that's exactly how it was presented to me, because when I asked a certain individual, they told me, this is what you'll be making in this year. So that's what I went with. So when you do that to any other employee, and they go and figure out their lifestyle for what they're supposed to get, and you don't, and when you come and you bring it back up to your department head, and you get, well, I'm sorry, that's not how it should have went. It doesn't sit too well with an employee. So I'm one also who was promised by a certain individual, and I know some may be here and some may not be here no more. But the salary that I was promised is not what I got. And then you want to talk about certifications, I'm one of the ones that need another certification. And that's something that I'm working on. But that was a different amount opposed to what the budget is now. I don't know if I can say the numbers, really, I don't really matter to me, but that's what the budget is now. So y'all want everybody to come to work, or you want me to do my best, and then I get something like that, and that makes me feel a little bit less of an employee. Because I was told that we would be up here, and then you're still down here. The whole certification thing, I'm working on it, I'll get it, but that's two different amounts, that was two different items that were presented to me. If anybody'd like to see that, I'll gladly show you.
Okay.
But, like I said.
Not okay now, but.
No,
yeah.
no, but I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but you want people to come to work, you want people to work for Weimer, then we need to own up to what was promised to folks. I'm just saying that from my behalf only. I don't have to speak for everybody else. And like I said, if I don't have a job next week, I understand, but what was promised to me is not what I'm making. If anybody would like to ask me what I'm making, I'll gladly tell you. Appreciate it.
so, getting back to it, there was no documentation of employees of anything prior? Like
What do you mean, like,
evaluation or anything?
well, he might have got an evaluation, but not, maybe everybody got evaluations, if there were some.
That's what
If he says he got an evaluation, maybe Mike felt he needed to do one. I don't know.
So I'd like to see.
But that has to be an evaluation that's in writing, it's not a
Yes.
verbal thing.
From now on, I want a sit-down, documented evaluation on a certain time every year. That's what I wish to have. So we can revert back to all these people and look at what they've accomplished, what they need to improve on, their certificates, and so we can, it holds us accountable. Is that fair?
we can put that into place.
That'd be great. I think that would
We
clear all the
had
confusion.
it in place at one time and, you know, it
It's
went
nothing,
away.
it's nothing against you, Mr. Loris, I'm just
It's not that
trying-
it went away with me,
No,
I
no,
can
no.
tell you that.
No, and I know that, but we've got to remedy this, and that's the remedy I think that's gonna
Okay.
move forward. Is that cool?
The same conversation might have happened whether somebody's gone and she had to take place or not. But unfortunately, she's the one that has to sit here and take the conversation. And she's hearing everybody, so I think she'll abide by what you guys are making comments about.
And I appreciate that.
She just got caught in a tough situation where things changed and
And
That's
not
where
only
we are.
that, these charts that were in the budget, those charts are not right. So whoever's thinking that's legend, it's not.
who made
So
the charts?
Where are these charts
Mike
from?
did. Mike did.
Oh,
So we're gonna correct some of that
I
next year
think
and
that'd be-
make them more reality than
Yeah.
what they are.
And we're just, yeah.
And that caused a lot of confusion with, you know, when David and I looked at it. So,
What do you
we
mean?
kind of,
Fully loaded versus
pardon me?
fully loaded?
I mean, we agreed on
No,
these here.
this is just salaries, yeah,
This was agreed upon, this.
that's in the budget.
Yeah, it's in the budget.
right.
These salaries right here.
Well, well, David, you can explain anything on that? I didn't work with the salaries as much before as you did, but it used to be a bracket,
It's in the
You know.
bracket, it's here.
brackets.
Well, I mean, I don't know if they were guaranteed to be making this in '24, but that was the budget was set for each individual to be making.
That was a maximum.
Right,
Yeah,
Right, so we budget $10,000 for uniforms, and that doesn't guarantee that we're gonna spend $10,000 for uniforms.
Right.
So, it's just, yeah. It's kind of maybe a little misleading, I don't know how it was presented to the individual employees, but
I think I need it. Cost of living, I haven't had cost of living.
We had you
That's
on
not
here,
on the
but we took it
agenda.
off, but you'll be back on the.
No, Bo, don't feel
Put
bad.
me on the budget.
I don't
Can
see
get my
you.
regular hourly rate?
Hey, Bo, don't feel bad, I don't even get a check.
But I think maybe next year's budget workshops will include more discussion on salaries, things like that.
Well, a decision needs to be made prior to that, so it's set up before budget.
well,
And that's what I was
we
trying
still
to,
got 25,000 to upgrade,
Right.
don't we?
that's what I was trying to do is, if we needed to make a, action item that we do have, that, you know.
Some of these individuals that got these whole 1%, we need to do something about that.
Everybody good? Somewhat taken?
Yes.
You know, those haven't been given out in that fashion for a long time, but I can tell you that there's been employees getting those amounts for years. So,
Well,
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
not,
saying,
I've been in
I'd be
that
upset.
boat.
I'd really be upset.
But
I'll tell
it's
you what, in
just-
'78, I was working at Smith Industries, and they were working nights, and I was promised big raises, and ended up with a 25-cent raise. I can tell you where I told them to go.
Well, I understand that, but
That's not
That's
intention to
been-
let people go. Obviously, we want
Yeah.
to take care of everybody, just like we
Yeah.
want to take care of
I'm just
equipment
telling
and
you,
supplies. Yep.
it's a disgrace if they come up to you like that.
I think the evaluation deal would make your job a lot easier, to be honest with you. That way it's, there's no question of it, it's documented.
yeah.
Because, you know, like an employee came up here and spoke at the podium, he was told something, and told something versus documentation is two different things. You can't, there's no tracking that, and it's not fair to anybody, really. It's not fair to you that we're questioning, and it's not fair to that individual. So that would knock that whole discussion out, and it'd make it a little more seamless.
Absolutely. I've heard a lot of that, you know, that I've been promised this.
Yeah.
And you don't know. I
Exactly.
mean, because nothing's written and falls.
And we're here
Nothing's
to,
written down.
we're here to
So
help you
It's like, yeah.
get these things done, and, you know how it goes.
Okay? I'm going around the table. Everybody okay with discussion? Okay. So we'll move to, we'll do announcements. We'll just do announcements now. Agenda item number 30, employee appreciation.
Employee Appreciation Dinner is Friday, December 1st, starting at 6 and 7 t. Chamber Sip and Shop, Saturday, December 2nd, from, it says on here, 4 till 8. So she's about right. She said 3, but Down Home Christmas, December 14th, and I don't have the times on that.
5 to 9,
5 to 9.
that's what we said.
5 to 9.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, we'll move to agenda item number, well, let me go to citizens' presentations. Where is that on here?
26.
That's where I am. Agenda item number 26, citizens' presentation and comments. In accordance with the Texas Attorney General's opinion, any public comment that is made on an item that is not on the posted final agenda will only be heard by City Council. No formal action, discussion, deliberation, or comment will be made by the City Council. And let me go to my list. So I only have 2 people that signed up during public comments. Mary Harold, is she still here? Mary, you want to speak on anything? If so, step up to the podium, introduce yourself.
Mr. Mayor Chambers, I just had a couple of comments. On the water, like we said, we all see it all over Facebook. I did talk to the water guy there. High concentrations of the manganese is actually dangerous, so it needs to be brought forth to the people of Weimar. Do not drink that water. So you need to educate yourself on some of the water treatment. It would help. Second thing is the small business proclamation.
Yes, ma'am.
It still disappoints me that our city doesn't do business with the small businesses in Weimar. So that's a shame. And that's all I got to say. Thank you.
Thank you. And I have, Leroy, you signed up on this one, but you probably just signed up since you came in, right?
Yeah, I probably signed the wrong thing there, but,
If you want to say something, great, step up to the podium.
well, I was just kind of interested, we always have executive, meeting,
Yes, sir?
and I noticed that, Lieutenant Stephen resigned, and I've always known him to be a fairly good person, and I don't know if y'all can really say anything about it. Did he resign on his own accord, or is that something you really can't discuss?
He's retired.
He
right?
He retired?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he retired, but the little comment that he made in the paper didn't seem like it was a retirement to where he was ready to retire. It seemed like he was a little disgruntled, or maybe I misunderstood that part of it.
Council can't comment
I know you probably can't.
because we're public
Right.
citizens presentation.
But, I've been coming here for ever since I've
Yes,
been
sir.
in Wyoming.
And we appreciate you coming.
And I'm just interested in the city, and I know sometimes things get a little disgruntled, and that's the only reason I come. Normally I don't say anything, as long as everything's going good. I'm the type person that I just like to see everything go good. So if everything's in good hands and going to be the best for Weimar, then I'm okay with it. But I just sit in every now and then and see what's going on.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you being here. Anyone else for public comments? Okay, we'll move to agenda item number 27, executive session under section 551.074 personnel, city